to Stephen Powell, Know Your Sound, and we're just gonna hang out a little bit tonight, y'all. I wanted to talk about bass a little bit, man. What's been going on with y'all? I've been busy, man. I've been busy with life situations and everything, but I really wanted to come on here tonight just to talk about a little bit of bass. Also, we got a live stream. We're gonna have a live stream tomorrow, where we're gonna be basically changing strings on two of the new basses that I have. And so I'm excited about what we're going to be. And let me show you what basses we're going to be changing strings on. So this is a new bass that I have here. This is a Roscoe LG 3005. And you can see here. This is an amazing bass, and I will talk about the woods tomorrow, but we're going to be basically changing the strings on this bass that I have here. I really love this bass. We're going to be changing that strings tomorrow. Also, I got a Fender Player Plus. All right. And this bass is we're going to be changing the strings on this tomorrow. And we're going to talk about some things tomorrow as far as what basses have came out, what bases are popular now. Also, we're going to talk about woods. We're going to be talking about woods, y'all. Basically, when you're choosing a base, what are you looking for? If you're going to, what I'm saying. So we're going to talk about all that tomorrow. It is essential, and I recommend that you tune in tomorrow because I will be. These are the strings I'm going to be using tomorrow. I just picked these up. These strings I'll be putting on the bases tomorrow. Also, I'll be showing you some tips on when changing strings and why it's necessary to change strings. Okay, it is very necessary for you to change strings. This affects your tone. This affects how you sound. This affects how people are listening to you when you are playing, right? So you want to make sure that you always keep your strings fresh. I know in times of situations right now that it's not the best to always buy strings, but if you can, and I'm also going to share, y'all. I'm also going to share another tip. If you can't get strings right now, I'm going to give you another tip tomorrow, right at 7 p.m. Eastern, on what you can do to keep your strings fresh. All right. So you want to make sure you stay tuned for that. But again, y'all, just wanted to come on here live to really talk to y'all right quick about some things that's been going on in in my life. My MacBook had went down, so I just recently purchased a MacBook. Also, y'all, life has been getting busy, so I have not been able to post lately. All right, but we are here. We're back. We're going to be consistent now, and so I'm glad that those of you have came in and tuned in and have watched the videos. I really appreciate that. Thank you for all the subscribers. But we this year, y'all, we're trying to go to a different level, and we are excited about what's going to happen. I'm excited what's happening in your life. If you're listening to the replay on this, what bases are you playing now? What dream base do you want? How many of you are looking for a custom base? Okay. And then also, y'all, we're gonna also talk about how you shop for a base. Okay, because you have many sites like Sweetwater, you have Reverb, you have Zounds, you have Musicians Friends, which is owned by Guitar Center. I just found that out. And Guitar Center, of course. And you have some other stores that you could shop on Reverb. But here's the thing, when you're buying an instrument, especially if you're buying it used, all right, or if you're buying it on Reverb, there are going to be some future lives about why it's essential that okay, y'all, when you purchase a bass, that you know what you're getting into, okay? Because some things have changed. And also, we're going to talk about how is the music world going to be affected by these tariffs? Mm. How is the music world, how is the cost of the instruments going to be affected by the tariffs that are being pushed with the current president, right? And so how's that going to affect us as musicians? How is it going to affect the music culture? And so we can all talk about these things. We're going to have future lives, but I'm going to start going live more. But I just wanted to show my face tonight. We're not going to be here long, but I really want y'all to really comment. What bases are you playing? Where are you from? And what dream base do you want to own? Right? If money was not an option, what dream base would you want to own, or would you want to get built? And so again, listen, thank you all for coming in. Those who came in. Again, y'all, you do not want to miss the live stream tomorrow. We're gonna be changing strings. I'm gonna give you some tips, y'all. I'm gonna give you some tips on some things that can help you with your with leveling up your sound. All right. And I also want to talk about this, y'all. Um, Whenever you get a bass, matter of fact, whenever you get a bass, right? Whenever you get a bass, the first thing you should always do when you get a new bass is to inspect the cavity of the bass to make sure that the preamp is working. What you said, Stephen, why you're saying that? Well, guess what, y'all? I recently played a bass a Guitar Center yesterday. This was a brand new bass. This was a Tobias. Listen, y'all, it was a Tobias. The new Tobias, not the pre-Gibson Tobias. It was the new Tobiases. And so when I was playing this instrument, guess what happened? I could not even hear the true tone of that instrument because the preamp was, guess what? It was all messing up. When you would go and turn the mid, it would cut the whole bass off. When you go and turn the bass, it would cut the whole bass off. So that was something that was not functioning correctly with the preamp. And I'm thinking to myself, this bass, y'all, this bass costs $2,200, right? About 2,200 something dollars. So for a $2,200 bass, the preamp's not working, but it's looking pretty. And I was so frustrated. And I was just like, wow. Is this how the current market's gonna be? Should I be buying more bases? Right? But again, when you're getting a new instrument, when you're getting a new bass, y'all, always make sure that you check out to make sure everything is functional. All right. I also want to show you this one bass, y'all. I want to show you one of my favorite basses, right? This is a Spectre Eurobolt. Now, I wanted to show this to you all because this bass is custom. It's custom. All right. I want you to look how pretty it is. Look how pretty this thing is. All right. So the secret about this bass is this bridge and the preamp. All right. The bridge and the preamp is amazing. All right. We're gonna talk about this bass tomorrow. So you want to stay tuned to see how it sounds, right? How it sounds and what's in it. And we're gonna have all that discussion tomorrow at 7 p.m. Make sure that you tune in. But I am Stephen Powell. This is Know Your Sound. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm so glad to connect with y'all tonight. I got a little bit of time. I made some time to make sure that I can connect with you all. But tomorrow we're going to be discussing change. We're going to be changing strings. We're going to be talking about how you choose how, when you're looking what to look for when you're buying a bass. Also, we're going to discuss the market of the new bases that are coming out. Okay. I'm talking about there are some bases that are sleepers too, y'all. I'm going to recommend some bases to you, okay, that are sleepers and you might want to check out. All right. So, again, thank you all for tuning in on this Friday night. I hope you are enjoying your weekend. I hope you're going to enjoy your weekend. And those that of you are going to church, listen, this we are celebrating Easter, and the reason why we're celebrating Easter is because of what I believe. the Lord Jesus Christ. We're celebrating him being risen from the dead. So, again, thank you all for tuning in with Know Your Sound, and I'm your host, Stephen Powell. I just wanted to come on here right quick and talk about the basis, talk about what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. And I wanted to show you some of the new gear that I have. And I even got a new amp, y'all. I even got a Fender Rumble 800, which is an amazing amp. I just used it on a gig that I did on last Saturday. It was an amazing amp. So again, thank you all for coming in. Listen, can you also, if you can you like and subscribe to the channel? Make sure that like for the algorithm so that you can help this channel out. We really want to grow this year, y'all. We're gonna grow this year. And so if you can, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. This is your first time. Also, listen, also tune in. If you got any questions, y'all, you can hit me up on Instagram, know underscore your sound underscore your sound. All right. I'm also on Facebook with Stephen Powell. You can look me up there. You can DM me if you have any questions about any instruments or anything that you're about any instrument about to purchase, y'all. I nerd out when it comes to bases and custom woods and stuff, so I may be able to help you. If I cannot help you, I will find the answer for you. I have a couple friends that are very knowledgeable in that area. But again, we thank you all. Just wanted to talk, do a quick little talk about bass, y'all. I wanted to show you the new gear that I have. And listen, y'all, listen, I want y'all to do this too while you if when I want y'all to do this too, if you can. All right. I want you to think about where you're gonna be as far as your bass playing. Like how good are you gonna be, right? What are you working on in this year? What are you producing in this year? Right? So, we want to be able to strive to be better as musicians. And so every year we want to be able to become better, not be stuck. Okay. So let's start also challenging ourselves to become better. We're just having a conversation right now, y'all. We're just talking like friends. All right. So again, I want you to think about what are you going to be producing this year? What are you looking forward to? What is your goals? What is your ambition that you want to accomplish this year? As a musician, all right, as an instrument or as a musician, if you're a bass player, all right. But I also wanted to share this. Know your sound is really about you producing your own sound. I know I know there's a lot of competition when it comes, especially on Instagram, y'all. We're finding out every day that there's some new bass players out there that are at the level. And so let me put some chapstick on y'all while I'm doing this. I don't want my lips to be all chapped. All right, so every day I go on Instagram, I'm finding new bass players going to a different level, man, and I'm just excited about these guys coming on board, and they're amazing. But my thing is, every person that's displaying their talent, right? Are you producing your own sound, or are you a copycat, right? And knowing your sound is basically allowing you or helping you and assisting you to become your own sound, right? Basically, you are producing who you are, right? You want to be authentic in what you're playing. And so for me, that's important. It's actually really is deeper, it's spiritual, because for me, whatever God is telling me to produce, that's what I'm going to produce. I don't want to become a copycat. I want to be the authentic person that I am. And so, man, listen, we're just having a conversation about bass and we're talking about life. But again, y'all, what basses are you playing? What are you going to produce this year? Are you looking forward to buying a new instrument? Are you looking forward to getting some new gear? Comment below if you're looking forward to that. But again, I just wanted to come on here with y'all to really talk about bass a little bit. And also I wanted to share what we're going to be doing tomorrow on our live stream. Make sure that you tune in. And I'm telling you, y'all, it's going to be an amazing time. I'm open to questions. I'm open to if anything you want to ask. I'm so open to it. But again, thank you all for coming in. I'm excited about this year, man. I'm so excited about this year because everything that's happening is this. I'm excited for each and every one of you all. And listen, man, listen. Even when you're going through rough times, listen, it's okay. It's okay when you're going through rough times. Because when you're going through those rough times, when you get into those situations as a musician where you may not know something, right? Those are the times that you really have to you have to learn, right? I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he was saying, man, and I was telling him about a gig what I was going to, where it was going to be a writing session, and there was no set list. There was no set way of what we're going to be doing. It's all going to be just off the cuff, right? And what he said to me was, he said, "Listen, you're going to have to. This is going to really help you to think more and to be creative, right?" And so our creativity is based on what we are producing on the inside, right? This is what know your sound means. Whatever you're producing on the inside is going to come out on the outside. So you have to know who you are as a bass player and your sound and what you like on the inside first. If you have a desire to have a MTD and you want that MTD sound, it starts on the inside first. Even though the bass is called an MTD, it's still going to produce whatever however you play. So whatever you're doing outside of that instrument affects how you play on your instrument, right? I want y'all to think about that. If you got a lot of things going on in life, and it's a lot of things that's not um that's not helping you to produce, it's going to show in your playing. So what are you saying here, Stephen? What I'm saying to you is that you have to make sure that you make room for your mental health and whatever you're doing outside when you're playing the instrument, to make sure that you have a balance to where you can still produce on that instrument. Meaning, if you having a mental block, take some time out to get some help. Reach out to some homies or reach out to some friends or somebody, right? And say, "Hey man, I'm struggling in this area," right? And this has everything to do with bass. So whatever you're playing on bass, whatever you play is based on what's on the inside of you. If you are struggling on the inside, then you're going to be struggling when you're playing your instrument, right? So so my advice to you is always to make sure that you protect your gift by having a balance to where you can function properly on your gift, by making sure that if you have things outside of you being a musician that's taking priority, that those things are handled in the right way so that you can focus and produce consistently in your playing, right? So man, look, it gets hard sometimes. It gets hard sometimes. It gets hard sometimes being a bass player. It gets hard sometimes where you get in a situation where you don't know something and you're frustrated and you feel like that you haven't moved in the last year. But listen, you have to understand that that it's a process that comes with what you're doing. It's not something that's going to go overnight. Whatever you're producing right on your instrument, it's going to take some time. It's going to go through a process. But if you hang in there, if you be consistent about what you're doing, it will work out for you. I'm telling you. So listen, whatever you're going through, and as a musician, listen, sometimes the best thing to do, here's another side to that. You can pick up your instrument and say, "You know what? I got this going on, but let me pick it up and let me release some stress a little bit. Let me start getting creative." And all of a sudden, everything that was happening outside of you playing bass, it's not bothering you as no more, because now you're producing something and you're taking all that energy that you've been going through and you're saying, "Man, let me produce something and create something to where someone else could enjoy it." The greatest songs that people write sometimes are have come from tragic moments or things that have happened in their life, and now they're writing this piece to where it goes viral, to where it's helping others. And this is the art of music, man. This is the art of your playing. When you are producing a sound on your instrument, you are giving people a quality music so that they can hear. But if they are not convinced what you're playing because you're not convinced yourself, then people are going to say, well, it sounded okay, but it's not really authentic. Like when you hear a great solo, a great bass solo, and you know it's real, it's like, man, I felt that thing, man. I understood what he was. It's almost like a person is writing a story. And this is how you want to be when you're playing your instrument, right? You want to be so authentic that when you put in your hands and when you're producing um the sound on your instrument, people are gonna be like, man, I really enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this channel is about, man, is to really encourage each and every one of you all to produce your own sound. Produce what you're supposed to produce, man. Listen, no one can be who you are at the best of who you can be but you. You are the best of you who you are because you are who you are. Right? There's only one person that looks like you, that plays like you, because that's who you are. And so why not be the best version of that, right? Why not be the best version of it? Start creating habits in your life to where you can start producing something consistently, right? For me, right, this is what I had to do, y'all. This is something. Let me be transparent here, right? I was not consistent in my channel, and the reason why I was not consistent, you know why? It's because I didn't know how to produce. So I had to go and go back to the drawing board, and I said, man, I need to start producing something. I need to get myself together. So I went through some situations to where my equipment went down, my MacBook went down, some other things was happening in life, and I was like, man, I'm not producing anything. I'm not being consistent in my channel or to my followers. And so I had a conviction for myself, and I had to really go and dig deep in myself and say, you know what, man, I have not been loyal to my followers. I have not been loyal to this channel. And so I had to have a conviction in my heart so that now that I am going to start producing some things, no matter what I'm going through, I have to be consistent. And it's called accountability. Sometimes you might need some coachings. Listen, y'all, there's nothing wrong with getting some coaching, right? Getting a person to help you coach and coach your way to meeting your goals. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with going to a to having your mental health getting checked, going talking to someone or anything. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Because we all go through things in life, right? But it's about us overcoming those challenges by putting some tools in action and some methods in action so that you can overcome the challenges, right? And so, as bass players, as musicians, we're going to go through things. And listen, y'all, it is about you producing something regardless of what's happening in your life. And I had to learn that, y'all. I really had to learn that the hard way. Like, you know, I was looking at myself, it's been almost a month, and I have not, well, it's been about 3 weeks since I posted something. And I said, man, I am not being consistent. I am not being consistent. So I had to call myself to the front of the congregation, y'all. Yep, me, Stephen Powell. I had to call myself to the congregation and say, look, look, bro, you ain't been doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to connect with y'all tonight. I'm not going to be here long. I just wanted to talk a little bit about bass. Again, y'all, you don't want to miss out tomorrow. I got some great, great tips for you all that's going to help you. And again, if this is your first time coming to the channel, welcome, welcome. If you feel like you want to listen, I ask you if you want to, can you subscribe to the channel and like this live so that the algorithm can help out this channel so that people will know that we're here because we're trying to go to a different level this year. And so listen, y'all, I'm also going to be doing some collaborations, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. Man, I got some guests that I want to bring, some people that have been some inspirations in my life, and so I want to do some interviews and everything else. And so we're excited about this year. And again, y'all, I hope you enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you soon.